I wish we could shorten it up a little bit, but I love it. It's a great song
Nice.
written by my friend Kyle, and I play it, and then like we can't hear each other while I'm playing it, so it's sweet. But we're live now.
Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. Come fill your time, this pot's for all. From the Finger Lakes, join in the call. Learn something new about the Cuca Trail. Upstate New York, every episode I tell. Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. It's rare.
Yeah, I always forget to share it, so I have to go back and share it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to It's Rare this Sunday. We have Pete Browne of the infamous Welsh Cookie Company, and he is here to talk with us about great cookies, terrible people.
Great cookies, terrible people.
I like his attire, like the shirt.
I did have to wear
that
the
is awesome.
Yeah, the infamous Eat Me shirt. The Eat Me was not inspired by Phil Rahr, but the logo and the motto of the company is definitely a Phil Rahr creation.
Uh-oh.
Yes, we were casting about for a motto for the company, God, probably 8 or 9 years ago, and Phil's like, you make great cookies, but we're not good people.
Just
Great
in the
cookies,
middle of the night, I said,
terrible
it's
people.
got to be great cookies, terrible people.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I
And
like it.
Accurate.
Good slogan.
Accurate.
There you
It's,
go.
it's less accurate now than it used to be. The cookies are still great, but we're not as terrible as we used to be.
He told us some terrible stories from your times together, working events, and
We're gonna keep it PG today.
yeah.
We're right. Well, no,
PG 13 and a half.
I kind of did want to know the rules around some of those stories, because I've vowed to only tell some of those stories to people who are kind of in the inner circle of the cookie family. So I don't know if you've actually heard some of the.
I've heard a couple. But
Okay.
Yeah. No. The one is
I don't say any terrible ones.
not real terrible. I'm sure,
Okay.
but no.
I say funny ones.
Yeah, there's a couple.
The funnier, the better.
A couple of legendary stories. At least one involving a bear.
I told that story. There was a guy at the Laurentide last night that lives on Hunter Mountain,
No way.
like across the road from the bear story.
Okay.
And I told him the bear story. I said, "Oh, I almost got killed by a bear on Hunter Mountain once." He goes, "No, you didn't." It's like, well, maybe I did. You don't know.
Right. It could have happened. There was definitely a bear, at least one bear involved in that story.
So what happened was, how many times have we ever stayed in a hotel during a festival?
You and I, have we
Like
yeah,
Minnesota,
Iowa, generally speaking,
pretty
we do
slim. Like we
hotels, but-
usually don't do hotels.
No.
Usually do camping.
yes.
And so we'd set up that night, the night before the festival at Hunter Mountain. We
Right.
set up 10 by 10 tent, and we rolled out the sleeping bags and slept under there. And then we bring out the cookies the morning of the event starting.
Right.
So
That night, so that was Friday night. So on Saturday, we were planning on just camping out in the tent again, like we had Friday. And another vendor, Andrew, from the Scottish Gourmet, had a much larger tent than we did, and said, "Why don't you boys?" Because he brought a carpet, like he had a padded floor in his tent. It was it was luxurious, all this room. So why don't you guys
like,
just
no, really use ours. It's
use
more
our tent?
comfortable.
It's more comfortable. So Phil and I slept 20 feet away in a more comfortable tent. And that Saturday night, a bear came down the mountain and came into the cookie tent and ate about 37 dozen cookies.
Oh no.
All the same
All
flavor.
the same flavor.
Really?
Yeah.
Like mango macadamia or something.
Yes.
We did a
Really?
weird one-off flavor that year. And yeah, ate a bunch of cookies and then continued on down the mountain. Apparently shook a couple of people's motorhomes who were also kind of camping out of the mountain, just kind of shook the motorhomes, licked the grease off their grills, and hopefully got a stomach ache, because that bear didn't pay for a dime of the cookies he ate.
That guy told me that they have one of the highest populations of black bears in the country.
Okay.
On Hunter Mountain.
Wow. So was that a sign? Do you still make that flavor of cookie?
We don't make that flavor. No, we ran out that day because we ate them all.
Bastard.
And we didn't really that was a one-off. We haven't really done that since. I was actually in Hunter like 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, we'd gone up there for a long weekend and stayed across the mountain at Wyndham. And then during, just driving around, finding some nice hiking trails, swung by Hunter Mountain, just so I could say that's where the bear was.
Very nice.
Wow. So can we talk about how he's the first guest we've ever had on this show, and you've said we're keeping the show PG-13? Is there?
All right. Well,
is there something?
It's not PG. Like we just don't want to get. We just don't want to get canceled.
Oh, so I can't. Yeah. What are the rules?
I don't
Well,
know.
you can't lift your kilt.
They're usually not PG-13, so
It can-
only when you're here, I guess, is
be-
like a new thing.
Okay.
MS-13. Me MS-13. Just nothing where anybody's going to lose any future
Right.
career opportunities.
Right.
Well, let's be serious. I don't think any of us will ever be able to run for president. Well, maybe. Actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
got a good
we have some real pieces of shit running
Yeah.
for president. So,
I guess I could probably run.
I mean, morally,
not old.
policy-wise, also pieces
How
of
old do you
shit.
have to be to run?
Come on, man. Did you not?
I really-
I'm old enough.
I really don't know.
You're old enough now.
I just broke the
Aw,
yeah.
Congratulations.
This is, and you know what I didn't do, and I should have. This was my first opportunity for run for president, and I didn't even
You didn't
file.
get it? Okay.
What is it? 35?
35,
35. Okay,
Yep.
that's what I thought it was.
and I didn't file. I'm putting all my eggs into the Joe Jorgensen basket.
Okay.
Nice.
So we're gonna actually, you might find this interesting. Pete and I have spent a lot of time on the road,
Yes.
sitting in cars together,
Okay.
like at 20 hours at a time, and we always have interesting conversations, and we usually don't agree much. And
Right.
I think that's made us both better.
In some ways, yeah, I think it is.
And I think you'll find it interesting when we're gonna live stream the debates
Okay.
and with commentary.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And so where I don't know if you mind
Can
saying
we
on
really call them debates?
Well, they're really just infomercials for the
Right.
selection.
Okay.
It's not really an election.
are you guys like on opposite like political platforms? Is that what it is? Like, one of you lean heavier the other way? Is that what it is? Is that where you don't agree?
In a lot of
or-
ways, yeah.
Yeah,
And we've
okay.
I think I know I've certainly evolved to have a little bit different viewpoints than when we started doing this like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the things that I've been impressed with Phil about is that he is not stuck to the same position that he had when he was a callow 18-year-old that I first met. Just graduating high school. Definitely was a member of the Young Republicans, or he was their wet dream, basically.
Oh boy,
And has evolved since then.
I've evolved.
evolved.
Things are good.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice. As long as you can see both sides, it's a win for me. So there you go.
And that's a great kind of, I always try to seek out conversations with people that I know aren't going to just agree with me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Cool.
so what's the deal? Tell everybody, I know you. Jesse doesn't really know you.
Right.
Just met. What's the deal with the infamous Welsh Cookie Company?
Well, the infamous Welsh Cookie Company, I'm kind of the second iteration of the infamous Welsh Cookie Company. It was started, Phil, as you know, by my dad, Dave Browne, who, as a retirement business, when he left the Federal Aviation Administration, started this cookie business. He had made cookies, these Welsh cookies, for my family for years, had learned from his mother-in-law. And then started to make cookies for church events and little things in northeastern Ohio where I grew up, and got into his first Scottish festival in maybe 1997 or 8, and sold a lot of cookies. And it was an amazing thing. He couldn't believe that he'd sold, 200 dozen cookies in a day. And then kind of from that first Scottish event, branched out into other Scottish events across the United States, and then some Irish things and some Renaissance festivals. And by 1998 was maintaining a schedule of like 40 events a year, where he was making cookies pretty much full time and traveling around the country selling these Welsh cookies. And my older brother joined my dad to help him when the amount of cookies they were making exceeded my dad's capacity to make by himself. And then when I joined I didn't really join the company, but started my own branch of the company in 2007, and built my own schedule. And so for a while, my brother was doing 40 games a year, and I was doing 40 events a year, and my dad was still doing 30 events a year all over the country. So I think the infamous Welsh Cookie Company has been represented in 35 states. Yeah. So there's still some states we haven't actually been to an event in.
And international.
And internationally. We've actually sent cookies to all 7 continents now.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, we sent cookies to Antarctica.
Wow.
There was a guy bought cookies to send to his son, who was a scientist on the McMurdo, am I saying that right? McMurdo Research Station that the Air Force runs in Antarctica.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit different. The Welsh cookie is not your average cookie. It's not baked in an oven.
Where are the break those things out?
They're pretty.
Oh,
I'm breaking my diet for
hang
this.
on, he's breaking
break
his
those
diet.
things out.
Grab some.
And
What was the flavor I had at the Laurentide?
I believe you had the traditional.
Was it?
That's black currants and nutmeg.
Wow, that thing, it was so good.
Ooh, yeah, smash that mic stand as much as possible. What do we got here?
We have traditional black currant and cherry hazelnut.
Traditional and
Which-
cherry hazelnut.
Those are my 2 personal favorites because they go the best with dark beers.
So
Excellent.
if I wanted to order these, is there a website or is there
Yeah,
somewhere?
there is a website. It's www.welshcookieman.com. And usually the turnaround time for shipping is about 5 to 6 days. It's about 5 to 6 days now because of the pandemic, and I'm not traveling to shows. I actually have to have a job
Right.
working for the man, and I don't get to dedicate my life to the making and shipping of cookies.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I only get to
Damn.
ship cookies out about once a week.
I think that's fair though.
Yeah, that's
It's
reasonable.
not too bad.
I've done worse things for less money farther away.
And we've made a lot of friends. I mean, I think my favorite thing about this is the people that we've met. I love the cookies, and I'm going to break my diet for them right now. But the people that we've met, and actually JP from Iowa is watching,
Oh, nice, is he?
and
Okay.
he says he's going to be putting in an order pretty soon.
All right.
So-
did JP just text you, or
He's on.
Oh, very nice.
He sent us a
from the
comment.
chat.
If you're watching, send us a comment. Let us know you're out there.
Okay. Yeah, JP is part of the group that we met in Iowa, what, 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah,
The first year we went out there, we
2010-ish, 10 or 11.
when were you? It was your first or second year out in? No, it was before you even moved to Minnesota.
Was it before I moved there?
The first year we went out there was before you lived in Minnesota.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Isn't that bizarre
That's
that
really
happened?
weird.
And then, yeah, you're right. Because then we're like, oh, you know what? Actually, this is on our way back to
Right.
Minnesota. It makes it so much
Yeah.
simpler. Yeah, that
Um,
was great.
Yeah, we met JP that year and the Evans family and Jerry and his wife and their 33 kids.
Yes,
33 kids.
I wish I were kidding. They have
their
like,
family is
they have like
massive.
9 or 10 kids.
Wow.
And Steve and Sarah watching. And
Nice. Yep. And that's, I met, well, yeah, it was because we didn't know Sarah then because you weren't working at Shattuck yet. You met Sarah through working at Shattuck.
Yep.
And then she kind of joined that family, and then Steve joined the family. So we have a great group of people in Iowa, and we didn't get to see him this year. I didn't get to see him this year for the first time in 10 or 12 years.
mhm.
These things are awesome. I don't know. So are they really classified as a cookie?
I think they'd be more considered like a biscuit or a pancake.
They're delicious. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But
We call them cookie just because it's an Americanized term that people will recognize.
Yeah. So you
this one's really good. I don't like cherry.
The cherry hazelnut,
I hate
yeah.
cherry. And this
Oh.
is really good.
so you haven't been able to do the festivals this year.
Correct. All
So,
the shows I would have gone
Has
to were canceled.
your shipping gone up, or I know it blipped at the beginning. Has it stayed up or kind of?
Yeah, we've been able to dedicate a lot more time to whatever our social media presence is.
Mhm.
We've improved our website slightly, which I'm not a tech guy, so thankfully Jeremy Taylor in Buffalo has been helping me out with that, and hopefully he's watching today. So we've improved the website, and we're trying to send out a monthly newsletter and doing a little more Facebook advertising, and our word of mouth has been pretty good.
Mhm.
So we've done more internet sales than we, excuse me as I choke on my own product, more internet sales than we've ever done before, which isn't quite enough to sustain the company without me making additional income somewhere else. But it's been a boon to our internet sales. Yeah. I mean, that's been really good. And then the response has been pretty good as well.
Yeah, they're really good with coffee too.
So, so Jesse, you're going to have an opportunity to get these a lot more often, because after this, we're heading over to the Laurentide
Correct.
to drop off a batch.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And it sounds like they're going to be selling them as their only food item.
Well, they're
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
they're good, man. I like them.
So what are the rules now? If you serve alcohol, you have to buy food?
Yeah. Yeah.
It has to be kind of commensurate with whatever you would have to do for your liquor license, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some places really just have to have like pretzels and popcorn, and then other places have to have more substance to their food. So
does that depend on when you got your liquor license? Because like if you have a new liquor license, it's only sold for restaurants, or
I think it depends on, so like a restaurant, like my place up here, I'm sure you'd have to, it'd have to be soup, where at my distillery I do pretzels, chips, something like that. So I imagine the Laurentide, the cookies are perfect because they don't need to have much, even though I swear if you ate 4 or 5 of these cookies, you'd probably be pretty full. These things are.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
No.
Yeah. I think
They're
the prescription.
They're substantial, but we always said, what about a half dozen cookies per beer?
Per beer, yeah. So one dozen cookies will soak up 2 Guinness, 2 stouts, basically. And then what I've noticed, at least, is it allows you to then have more cookies, which allows you to have more beer.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's pretty awful.
It's a wonderful cycle.
For people that have never had these. So I don't like sweet. And I think that's what's really cool about these cookies is they're not overly sweet.
Correct.
There's a lot of different like spices, flavors. The texture's cool. It's really good.
And they're fried.
Correct. These are fried on a griddle like you'd make a pancake. So they're not deep fried. Although we have tried that.
They were awesome when we deep fried them.
We did deep fry some cookies once. Phil brought over a Fry Later or Fry Daddy or something. And we deep fried some, and they looked like donuts when you deep fried them. And they were good, but we couldn't figure out a way to do that in bulk. But they're, dry fried on a griddle like a pancake would be. So I'm a glorified pancake flipper dude.
Wait, what's that mean? What does that mean?
No, you're flipping cookies on these griddles for 9 hours a day sometimes, so you can make 250 dozen cookies in a day.
Wow. That's a lot of cookies. How long does it take to cook on each side?
It's 3 minutes on each side.
Wow, that's longer than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, so it takes some time, and I can run 4 griddles at a time to get enough cookies made to go to some of the events that we do. Like I had mentioned at the beginning, my dad once sold 200 dozen cookies in a day at a Scottish Games, and now we consider that to be a slow day.
So that wasn't a big deal. I thought that sounds like a lot of cookies.
It would not be considered a big deal now. Right. It was a big deal back in 1996 or 7. But here's an example for one event that I go to in Maryland in May. The Colonial Highland Gathering at Fair Hill a couple of years ago. In one day, I went through 1,200 dozen cookies in a day.
Jesus.
It's a lot of cookies.
That's a lot of cookies. And how long would it take you to make 1,200 dozen?
Took cookies? a week of working every day.
Is that a metric fuck ton?
That is a metric crap load.
Crap load.
A fuck ton would be slightly more than that.
Slightly more.
There's one other event where we do that much, but that's over a span of 3 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I know as we've evolved on our trips out west, that when we go to Iowa and Minnesota, it's a week and a half trip.
Yeah.
And you have to bring everything with you. Right. So you can't make cookies on the road. You can't bring all the,
Ooh, this is tasty.
Yeah. So we're drinking the new stout from Laurentide that I promised her I would drink until it was gone. And I think it's going to be pretty much a perfect match with the traditional Welsh cakes.
Give me a stout and a dozen wings as hot as you can make them.
So talking about wings. All right, let's get on the wing subject. I always ask everyone that lives in Buffalo. So have you been to Gabriel's Gate?
No.
Dude, I'm telling you, that has to be the best chicken wings I've ever eaten in my life.
Really?
So good. Yeah.
Gabriel's Gate.
I know. I can't I don't live up there, so I don't know the streets very well. But it's a
Ballpark?
ooh. I don't think I can ballpark you. It's like my buddy took me up there that opened the distillery I was talking about, and we went there. And I mean, they're just phenomenal. I mean, compared to the wings we get here, they're
Because
phenomenal.
normally, like in Buffalo, you're either a Duff's guy or an Anchor Bar guy.
Yeah.
Those are the Bloods and the Crips of chicken wings in Buffalo.
We can Google it.
Aren't those just for the tourists?
I mean, Anchor Bars, you go there for the ambiance. The wings are wings.
Mm-hmm.
145 Allen Street.
145 Allen Street.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know if
Gabriel's
that-
I will
if that
definitely
helps.
check that out.
I don't know if that helps.
Gabriel's, you can send the
Next-
check to
There you go.
P.O. Box.
Around that area, wherever that is. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you know.
Near Bryant. Put on my old man glasses.
Yeah, but that's the spot. You should check it out and then
Huh.
let Phil know if I led you in the right direction.
Yes.
Right.
Good stuff.
So I didn't finish my story about how many cookies we go through when
Okay,
we go
nice.
west.
Yeah.
So it's a week and a half trip. We have to bring everything for a week and a half. So we would fill
Yeah.
we would fill a minivan
To the brim.
all the
with
way to the
cookies.
top. Like you couldn't fit anything else in that van
Right.
to the point where for a week and a half we'd have a backpack with everything that we'd have to
Yeah,
survive.
that we would need to live off of.
Wow.
Well, the one year we did fit
All the
our
clothes,
golf
all of
clubs in
everything.
there.
We did
We
manage
did
to
fit
squeeze in
2
golf
sets of
clubs because I had a golf membership, so we golfed
for free for
like
a week.
twice a day.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we put stuff on the roof that year too.
We did put stuff on the
Um,
roof.
What'd you take? What'd you drive? What was it?
As a Dodge
Mi-
Caravan.
minivan, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we took almost 2,000 dozen cookies with us for that trip to do 2 events.
Holy shit.
So-
That's a lot of cookies.
Yeah, spent 3 days selling cookies in Iowa. Spent 4 days golfing. Spent 1 day at the Field of Dreams in Iowa, which was awesome.
That's
be cool.
still one of my favorite days.
That was one of the best days of my life.
We had a catch. Nobody in Iowa actually says that. That was just something
Hey,
that
let's have a catch.
yeah. Apparently Kevin Costner just said that one day and they were like, "Oh yeah, let's use
put
that."
in the movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Walked into the corn, threw some BP for random strangers.
Walked into the corn, walked out of the corn,
Well, you survived. You're good.
shagged some flies,
Yeah.
hit some dingers.
Hit some dingers. No, we didn't hit any dingers.
I didn't hit any
No,
dingers
we
either.
did no dingers.
The thing that people don't realize about the Field of Dreams is that they've actually there's a telephone pole in right field now.
Really?
Right, like right in the middle of right field, there's a big telephone pole.
Yeah, I've only seen that movie like once or twice. So
Actually, I don't. I
remember.
think they moved the phone pole because there was supposed to be a major league game there this year.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the Mets and the Pirates were supposed to play an
Wow.
official major league game there this year, and they didn't do it obviously because the major league season was completely eviscerated by the pandemic. But yeah, initially the idea was to play a game at the Field of Dreams. which is
Wow.
pretty neat.
That would have been cool.
I'd love to have a ticket for that game.
Oh man, yeah, because there can't be that many tickets.
You'd have to have the players would have to come from the
You would
corner.
have to come from the corn.
Is it really like that?
The only way. You
Yeah,
can do it.
it's like
Yeah.
it looks in the movie. I mean, just like
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And it's like flat.
Yep.
It's just cornfields.
Yep.
That's
and
cool.
Dyersville,
Iowa.
Iowa.
Wow. So when you bring 2,000 cookies, like what's the shelf life on these? Like how long can they, like if they're packaged, how long do they last?
Well, here's the issue, especially with that trip, is August in Iowa, a little humid. These cookies are
Mhm.
not great when it's hot and humid. So the regular shelf life at room temperature in a low humidity environment, it's about 4 to 6 weeks,
Wow, that's pretty good though.
which is
Jeez.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, for that kind of road trip, we've been trying for years to find ways to keep them cool, so that everything makes it through those 2 weeks, and we haven't always been successful.
We would just send some with Sarah.
Yeah, we would sometimes. I've shipped them out before. We've sent them to a friend's house and who stored them in a root cellar for a week to try and keep them cool. We would unload 30 cases of cookies into an elevator and take them up to a hotel room, which we'd keep at meat locker temperature.
as
Just
cold as
turn the
possible.
AC as down as far as you can.
It's like August and you're using all the blankets.
Right,
That's crazy.
because it's just freezing. Yeah, we do whatever we can, and short of buying a refrigerator truck, I don't know what else to do.
Do you miss being on the road this year?
It's kind of like losing a limb. I do. Yeah, I feel the phantom itch of like a hand that's not there anymore.
Like as much work as it is, and you drive for hours and hours, but it's, you're kind of, once you get there, you get into this zone.
Yeah. Amy and I were talking about this week, how in some ways, 2020 has been a positive experience. That, she just bought a house in Buffalo, and it's given us time to settle into the house and to get some projects done. And we adopted 2 dogs that we've had time to spend training them and, bringing them into the family. And there's so many things that have been really positive about that. When I'm on the road, I'm home for 4 days maybe, and I'm gone for at least 3 days every week. So it's given she and I time to kind of develop our relationship a little more, because I'm not gone all the time. But on the other hand, you're depending on one person to be kind of your entire social world.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So my desire to get out back on the road and see folks that I get to see them once a year usually, or get to spend a weekend with Phil, who I've known forever, but I haven't seen since pre-pandemic.
Yeah, at least.
I think we had a beer in January.
Yeah, maybe around Christmas,
right
or
around maybe Christmas,
late January.
So like the fact that we've developed these relationships all over the country, and now you don't get to service those relationships, maintain them, is really hard. And it's, to be completely honest, it's been very difficult to not see some of these people and drive to these events, especially the ones like Iowa, where we have developed a kind of a road family and identity out there. And I think Iowa misses us, to be honest. It's not,
Well, they're all watching, so
yeah.
There you go.
Is our entire Iowa family on there?
We've had some different families popping in. So
Okay.
I didn't think you were, so you really weekly you're gone that much.
Yeah.
So you're on the road like half the year almost.
In a busy season, it's every weekend from March until October.
Wow. So you would for most of these, if they're further than a couple hours,
Yeah, you're staying overnight.
you're staying overnight. So you're leaving on either Thursday or Friday,
Right.
and you're coming back Sunday or Monday.
Right. And then you're making cookies Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday sometimes, and then you're loading it up and you're gone again.
It's really full time.
So you don't have like a job when you're doing that.
No, for
That's
that
your
season,
sole.
Yeah.
Okay.
From March, beginning of March till October, that's all I do.
Yeah.
And it's you don't really get many days off. And
It's more work, I'm sure, than a regular job.
I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I'm not. It's very tiring, and it does put a lot of pressure on friendships and relationships, because you don't have that time. And like, I didn't get to see my kids as much as I would love to see my kids during those times. But on the other hand, I really enjoy it. So I feel a little guilty for
Right.
enjoying it so much. But I feel really bad that I can't do some of the other things that I'd like to do. I feel bad that I can't play golf.
Yeah.
I love to play golf, but I never get a chance, because during, when it's nice out, I'm working.
So I'm sure you played a decent amount of golf this year then.
God, I would have loved to have played a decent amount of golf this year, but with no job came no money. So yeah, my paycheck definitely shrunk.
I thought I heard the door open upstairs. Didn't it sound like it, or am I hearing things? No. Is that door?
I heard something.
That door's locked.
Every
isn't
day.
it?
Is it the
I don't
ghost?
think it's locked.
Oh boy,
It wasn't
I
locked. I just walked in.
You want to go lock it?
better go lock it.
Every once in a while, like every time we do the podcast, somebody does a door check. They're like, "Oh," they just walk in.
Oh, I'm breaking through the floor. I'm breaking everything. Oh, geez. Better go back. No more Welsh cookies. I better go back on the keto diet.
Jesse, you can't see it here, but Jesse just stepped all the way through a floorboard.
Killing it.
Holy shit.
So were you going to come back to Iowa this year? Was that part of the plan? Like, we talked about it very early in the year, and then,
I was hoping
things went
to.
to hell.
Yeah, it's hard for me to be able to schedule that stuff, because the way that meshes up with everything else. Like, I don't really love, the thing that makes it tough for me to go out there is the return trip.
Right.
Either having to fly back or rush back or drive separate,
Right.
To Iowa and back,
Right.
which is madness. So that's made it tough.
Okay.
But
One-way bus
and
ticket?
this year I couldn't have anyway because we started back to work earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Because you usually start back the week after Iowa.
yeah. So this year I started back on like August 3rd.
Oh, Jesus.
Right the first Monday of August.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'd really like to be able to do that again.
Right. Well, Iowa people, you have to get on and put all the pressure you can on.
Well, you know what else though, Iowa people, I love you. I've come to see you about 10 times. That road does go both ways. Does go both ways. You can come here.
Okay.
You're invited.
Rick has come here.
Love it for you to come here. Rick did come here.
Rick's been out here a couple times. Sarah and Steve, yeah, you guys don't have much of an excuse.
They called me this winter and they were planning on coming out, and
Right.
then all the pandemic stuff hit, and that
Okay.
kind of fell through. They did talk about coming out this year.
Okay.
If you lived in Iowa, why would you leave? Iowa's like got to be
It's heaven.
the low key
S Crystal.
best spot in
Right.
the world.
S Crystal.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would leave.
It's our friend. She
lives in Iowa?
lives here.
She
She's
was
from Iowa.
Gotcha.
yeah, but she left when she was little.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah. Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
It's really nice, especially for someone of my sorts, like to be outdoors and what it's like out there. It's cool. So
It is broilingly hot, and there's a lot of corn.
There's
There's a lot of corn.
and everybody thinks of Nebraska when they think of corn, but don't tell that to the Iowans.
Iowa's corn
because
is so much better than Nebraska corn.
Yeah.
Fuck Nebraska corn.
Is
It's
you
terrible.
hear that,
Is this an
Nebraska?
actual-
Fuck you, Nebraska,
Yeah, it's an
and your
actual, like,
corn.
Pick up your corn game, Nebraska.
is that a real thing? is there,
Well, that's
is
what-
there corn fights?
That's how we would start fights in Iowa. Tell them that Nebraska corn is better,
Oh boy.
and then immediately throw in hands.
The corn in Iowa is so prolific that some of the people have turned into corn. They're just so like
They're tall and
tall
yellow.
and skinny and yellow.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I've only ever been out there in August, though. I've never seen Iowa in February.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's even whiter than it is in August.
Yeah, okay. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, I mean, while we're talking, this is going to be an entire podcast about Iowa. And
Okay.
like, did you guys hear anything about this giant storm they had last month? The Dead Show?
Yeah, we mentioned it. We mentioned it on the
we did?
podcast. I mentioned it. You weren't paying attention.
Oh, sounds right.
It was like a what?
Basically a straight line hurricane
Whoa.
with 130 mile an hour winds.
Oh shit, you did mention
Yeah.
that.
And it was
You-
it was right through the part of Iowa that we traveled to. And one of my great friends from college lives out there, Rick Zutler. Shout out to Rick Zutler, zcom.com.
Zcom.com.
I'm pretty sure it's zcom.com. If I screwed that up, he'll let me know at some point.
That's actually a dirty website, so don't go there.
Oh, it could be both. It could be Rick's and be a dirty website.
Rick's website is dirty.
Yes.
Is it really?
No.
Oh.
No. He's a freelance writer for Construction
I
Magazine.
was gonna
It's
I
probably
was gonna
the
check.
the cleanest, most boring white website in the history of
Oh,
websites.
nice. Okay.
But they get this huge storm and it destroys like what half of the corn crop and soybean crop in Iowa.
Wow.
And it
Wow.
no news.
I didn't know it was.
Yeah, they got
that
no
much
coverage.
destruction.
No, I mean if that happened anywhere other than a flyover state,
Yep.
we'd know about it. If it happened in California, if it happened in New York, even if it happened in Western New York,
Mhm.
it would be news. But it happened in Iowa, and it's like this void black hole of interest and news.
That's the best part about Iowa.
Right, but it's going to affect. Here's the part: is it's going to affect everyone's prices.
Oh,
On
that's
things
true.
because of this huge loss of farm revenue. That the effect of it is going to be so widespread.
So your moonshine prices are going to go up.
Sure.
Oh no, we get corn from just from a Mennonite next door, so I don't think
Well, yeah, but
it'll change.
You don't
his
think it's
prices.
gonna? You don't think it'll change the whole market?
Not for actually. You notice with the Mennonites is they don't fluctuate.
Really?
They're consistent.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they have their own. It's like they have their own market. Because they
It's based on what it costs. them.
everything they use is homegrown, so it's not like they have to outsource anything. So they have their own market.
Okay, so they're not married to fixed costs like fertilizer, or clearly not gasoline.
Right, yeah, because
Wait,
they
can use
use
gasoline,
they
right?
use their cow manure. They
Right.
don't have fertilizer, and then when it comes to gasoline, a lot of them Some of them use tractors, some of them do it the hard way, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm sure gas would probably be the one cost that really affects them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, especially when it comes to hauling their products away, because you know
Mhm.
they do sell to bigger
Okay. So that's
stores and stuff like that.
transportation, trucking
Yes.
costs or things.
So
like
I
that.
imagine gas would be the one that would be like probably
Gotcha.
change a lot for them. Yeah, that's for sure. So have you been to Penn Yan much?
I've been through Penn Yan a bunch of times. I've been to Penn Yan probably 5 times in my
Okay.
life. Like come here intentionally.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really interested. We brought our dogs with us. We want to go hike part of the outlet trail, which
Nice.
which Phil's been intimately involved with, and is now what the
President.
the president of. He's
Mhm.
he's killed his way to the top of that organizational food chart.
El Presidente.
Take that, Hillary.
El Presidente. Yeah,
I beat you. I beat you, Hillary.
for life. For life. So actually, Phil, that's a great segue. I need to know where to go on the outlet trail. What is
Well,
bang for my buck? What am I?
Bang
where
for your
should I
buck.
go?
My favorite section of it, where you're
Right.
going to see the most things, is between Milo Mill and Cascade Mill. That's about, gosh, like a 2.5 mile stretch
Okay.
tops. But there's a turtle pond.
Okay.
There's 2 waterfalls.
I think that's a really nice walk. I always
Mhm.
take my dog because my dog. You're probably not allowed to do this, but I let my dog run because he can get down in the creek there and run around and be crazy. So it's a fun spot. I don't know how they feel about the dogs getting in the water.
As long as you can control. I mean, the thing about the dogs getting in the water, it's perfectly allowed. I don't know if I'd really. The water quality is not necessarily what you would want your dog to drink.
Right. Yeah.
It might be fine, but there is some wastewater effluent that gets
Sure.
discharged in there from Penn Yan.
On the
Really?
other hand, dogs are licking their own butts constantly. So
Dogs.
How bad could it be?
Yeah, sometimes my dog will lick his butt for like 30 minutes without coming up for breath. Like, what do you?
Circular breathing.
Come on.
Circular
Yeah,
breathing.
it's like
he's
if,
playing the didgeridoo.
like the
with his
bagpipes.
bunghole.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
Oh, the best thing about you being on this podcast is you're the only person I've ever seen make Phil a little uncomfortable with what you're gonna say, and I love it because like I've never been able to do that. Like he's
Really?
always ready for me. Like
Okay.
with you, I watch him every once in a while. I look at you like, what the hell's he gonna say?
I've settled down.
No, and that's true.
Pete
Right.
knows me from before I settled down.
The statute of that's why we're not as terrible of people as we used to be.
Mhm.
Like they're great cookies, terrible people, but we're not nearly as terrible as we used to be. But we want that legend to live on.
But we can be as terrible once as we ever were.
True. I can't bring that energy every weekend, but once or twice a year we could still summon it up. Like a reunion tour of a 60s rock and roll band. We can do it once or twice a year. And come with the same energy.
Yeah.
But man, I can't pay the cost afterwards.
Right.
I mean, I'm 51. I can't do that. Like that's gonna kill me. So that's the other thing that I've missed this year is like you don't get to just have one weekend where you're just gonna throw down. You're just gonna.
I missed that weekend. We used to have that weekend, and there were people that didn't like us having that weekend and made it a lot less fun.
On occasion.
Interesting.
We used to have at least one week a year where we get everybody out.
Oh yeah.
And
we got back into that show, the Great American Irish Festival.
But you guys got dropped out of the show?
I think we got banned from Frankfurt.
It's not we got dropped out of the show. It's I'll take the hit on that. I made a series of bad decisions that culminated in my being forcibly removed from an event. And by forcibly removed, I meant there were 2 guys who took me out of the parking lot, and they were definitely supposed to kick my ass.
Yes.
Whoa. Are we allowed
yes.
to? Are we allowed to get into this story or no?
That's all.
I want in on this story. I have to know.
This is permanent. So
right, there's a permanent record of this, and I've owned up to this unfortunate series of unfortunate events a couple of different times, I think, but never quite in a digital format like this. Suffice to say, I didn't get invited back to the show one year because I got my paperwork in late. So I wasn't going to be allowed to come back because of a communications breakdown between the show and I.
Okay.
I thought they had sent me the form or hadn't sent me the form. They insisted they had. So I wasn't going to be able to attend. I tried to shame that show into letting me back in by stressing all of our good qualities and the fact that we were great donors to the event, that we provided cookies for their volunteers free of charge, that we had a history there, that my father helped start that event. And then I tried to basically blackmail them socially by starting a writing campaign to their entire board of directors online.
We should get into politics.
Which was pretty effective at annoying them. So then I decided I was just going to go to the show as a patron, because I'll just buy a ticket and get in. That didn't go well. I think I was kicked out within 10 minutes of walking through the gate.
What do you mean 10 minutes? You made it like 10 steps.
No, I made
there?
it all the way. Oh,
You
yeah.
walked
Phil
through
was
the
there,
gate.
and Phil immediately
I
went
told
the
Pete.
other direction.
So Pete said, I'm going to donate cookies and try to like
Right.
sweet talk my way in. And we pulled into there and they were like,
Oh, they were waiting for
Pete
us.
Browne. No, you can't be. And you were like, well, let me at least donate the cookies.
Right.
So you were still trying to
Still trying to be nice.
be nice. And they weren't really into that either. And then
Why? What the hell is their deal?
And then what happened was the next day we decided, okay, well, we'll just stay and be patrons.
Yeah. That night.
That night, yeah, we came in. Pete had a beer in his hand.
I did.
And they were like, bam, we got him.
Right. Because I broke the rules. I brought an
Uh-huh.
outside beer into the show.
And but they let him through.
Yeah.
They should have just told him, don't. I mean,
Pour that out. Throw
Yeah.
it away.
But instead of doing that, they let him pass.
So they
And then they
definitely-
pounced him.
They got me on a technicality, but I broke the rules. I was disorderly, not really.
Infamous. You were infamous.
I was infamous, but I didn't put up a fight. I didn't put up a physical struggle because I can't fight. And what was the famous line? I didn't know how many it was going to take.
You know how
but
many
I
they
knew
were
how
going to.
many they were going to use.
So,
just enough.
so here's the thing, right? I didn't see this go down. Pete walked in like 2 steps behind. We were all in a group together. Pete was behind me. I was with two of my other friends. We walked
That's
through
right,
the
Jed
gate.
was there.
Yep, Jed was there and his dad. We walked through the gate and they like picked off Pete. And I never saw it. And I turned around. I'm like, what the, like, where did Pete go? Like, whatever. He's probably off
Thank
doing his
God for
thing.
Sean, because Sean followed the guys who escorted me out. Another one of our friends saw this happen, and Sean followed them out, following me out, so that there'd at least be a witness for
Jesus.
the monumental ass whooping that was about to happen. Which didn't happen because they told me to get in my car and leave, and I said, "Well, I can't. I'm over the limit. I can't drive. Like, do you guys want me to drive out? You're telling me to drive drunk? Okay, I'll driving straight to the newspaper or the radio.
Nah,
They still had newspapers then.
yeah.
So they had let me stay till the morning.
That golf cart got there pretty early,
I
though.
got there very early.
Pulled up to the campsite.
7 a.m.
Pete Browne?
Get out.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Send
So-
you back in a...
Out I got.
That guy fucking pounced.
And that's the tamest.
Thanks for the story.
It's the tamest story we have from that show, actually.
That's it.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
But I think the listeners enjoyed. I enjoyed. Sounds exhilarating.
It was fun, and it was a mistake, and I was immature, and at 46 or whatever I was at the time, it was silly for me to do.
When Phil wasn't egging you on it.
That was the one time that I was the voice of
Phil
reason.
was the voice of reason,
Usually, I went there to make sure he didn't go to jail. I went with him to make sure he didn't end up in jail.
and in that respect, he was successful.
And he did
I
not.
did not go to jail. All right, I got to get going. I'm going to drop some cookies off at the Laurentide,
Okay.
and hopefully I'll see you guys there.
Yes.
And then we're going to, okay, how do I get to these 2 mills on the trail?
So what you're going to do, this road that goes out that way out of town.
Goes that way out of town?
Yeah. East.
These are very good directions.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So we're on
You can-
we're on Main Street.
you can take the road on either side of this block
Okay.
heading east.
Correct.
Go east for about 3 miles. And
Okay.
there's a parking area on the right.
Go east for 3 miles.
Big parking area on the right. If you get to a stop sign, you can park at the parking area there too.
Okay.
And then I would start walking back this way,
Back towards town.
back toward town.
Okay.
And you get to the first big waterfall that's, the major attraction, Seneca
Right.
Mills Falls.
Okay.
You go past that, You get to see some cool little stuff.
Nice.
If you go in the other direction, you'll see a lot of the work that our volunteers have been doing lately, as far as a brand new pavilion and demolition project and things like that to improve it. So
very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
But definitely check out Seneca Mills Falls.
So that's what I'm looking for. If I were looking it up on Google Maps, I'd look for Seneca Mills Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take you right to it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that, and then I don't know if I'm dropping off cookies before or after we go check that out.
Okay. Check the weather.
Check the weather. Yeah, it's kind of rainy and crappy today.
I know a great place to wait out the rain.
Yeah. Is it the winery?
It's called the Laurentide.
Okay.
It's
well, I know their beer is delicious.
Yeah,
that was very good. My morning, or it was afternoon. I don't feel bad about.
Thanks to Marla.
That was really nice. Did she drop it off?
Yeah, she came over. She had her apron on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That was very nice of her.
Yeah. So I will find Marla, and I will hopefully find the both of you.
Yeah.
Before the end of the day.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I have to go to work at 5 a.m. tomorrow. So,
oh boy.
Yeah.
5 a.m. is never fun.
No, I start at 5 a.m, which is awful. So maybe Amy will drive home and I'll sleep in the car, so I get an extra couple hours rest.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And then don't forget Gabriel's Gate. Check it out.
Gabriel's Gate. Oh, yes. Gabriel's Gate.
If you like chicken wings, hot chicken wings.
Okay.
Man,
I do like hot chicken wings.
So good.
Gabriel's Gate on Allen Street.
Yep.
Okay. Gabriel's Gate on Allen. Well, you know what? If I forget, I will just
watch
the podcast.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
You should listen to it anyway. Make sure you share it.
I will.
With all your
share it
friends
on my friends, and I will
on,
share it on the infamous Welsh Cookie Company
Perfect.
Facebook page.
Oh yeah, you want
And if
to?
I can link it to the website too. The
Yeah.
cookies are to stay in. Those are
No.
the rest of those.
Do you want to say the website one more time for everyone? Because I'm sure there's probably some people listening that wouldn't mind maybe ordering some.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
The website is www.welshcookieman.com. You can find us on Facebook under Infamous Welsh Cookie Company. My older brother also has does Welsh cookies. Don't confuse the two sites. Mike's a great guy, but he uses Crisco in his cookies, which is just a crime against God. And
That is a crime. If you're not using lard, you're not doing it right.
You're not doing it right. My grandbrother Blodwin is flipping over in a grave. On the other hand, Mike is a great guy. He makes a good product.
What's the deal with, just really quick before you go?
Yeah.
What's the deal with drunk lime scootering in St. Paul?
Drunk lime scootering in St. Paul. Well, you shouldn't drive a motor vehicle that can carry passengers or exceed 15 miles an hour when you've been drinking. But you can rent a lime scooter in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it will get you from one eating establishment to another. Because, after a long day of working the show, you definitely need to get some food in your belly. So the lime scooter is the best way to get from the show to the eating establishment.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good.
Those lime scooters do have a weight limit. You cannot put a 6 foot tall soccer player and then her boyfriend on one and expect it to go up a hill. It doesn't work that way.
All right.
Yes. But I highly recommend lime scootering. And they should definitely have a breathalyzer on those things.
all of those like little rental vehicle things should have an interlock device.
A public service announcement for those of you who want to drink in lime scooter. They should definitely have a breathalyzer on those
we
things.
will definitely link this to the company send it their way. Let them know.
I think Lime Scooter should sponsor this company by sending us some scooters.
Yes.
You guys some scooters.
We need 3 scooters, 4 scooters. We need 4 scooters.
One for a guest, and
I don't think I'll be using a scooter.
We're gonna scooter from the podcast to the Laurentide.
Okay.
After each
I just
episode.
almost fell through the floor. I don't think I should be on a scooter.
Literally, I'm telling you, there's like I can see
basement.
see the basement under the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That's where the dungeon is.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the dungeon.
Okay.
Don't talk about the dungeon. Don't do the dungeon
First
stuff.
rule of Dungeon Club. Don't
What?
talk about the dungeon.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Fight Club.
Like
Fair
Same
enough.
thing. Makes
enough.
sense.
Well,
All right.
Jesse, it's a pleasure meeting
Yeah, it
you.
was nice meeting
and
you,
Phil,
man.
good to see you again. I will see you hopefully
Come back sometime.
very soon. I'd love to
Do this again.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You were
Absolutely.
awesome, man. You're
Thanks for
energy-
coming
you
on.
got- You bring a good energy. You really do. It was
It's
a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right. Time to
Cool.
find dogs and cookies. And
Good luck.
So yeah, just have to if you're going up top there. Just click it over and you can go right out.
Is it locked?
No, that don't worry about it. We'll just let another person
So
come
flip
in
the
and then I'll
side
go
to
do it.
open.
Yeah, just bring people in.
Just start serving.
It's gonna be okay.
It's time.
Are we allowed to show his outfit before he leaves?
Oh,
Can we get him
Let's see.
get his outfit going?
can't. Got to change the angle. Got to have the kilt.
Look at that.
Well, it's black on black.
He's showing a lot of knee there.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Don't fall through the
There's
floor.
Got to check the shirt. The logo on the shirt in the back. That's.
Oh, is that
Let me-
really?
let me
Oh,
zoom in
that's
on
your
that.
shirt.
Yeah, that's a.
That says, "Oh, I want one of those. Those are
These
cool."
terrible
How
people.
do I get a shirt?
We have shirts on the website.
Do you? Okay.
You can get those on the
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like
Yeah.
that shirt. That's
Can
cool.
I send you a? No, probably not. I need to get
I'll bring some.
I need to get a screen printer so I can get like nice, like cool shirts.
Yeah. You do. All right.
Those are cool. Hey,
I'm up like a prom dress.
All right, dude.
thanks, man. It was really
Thanks,
nice meeting
guys.
you.
Thanks for coming down.
Sorry I messed up your coffee first thing. Yeah.
No, you're fine.
All right.
Jesse brought Pete decaf.
I thought the decaf was for him.
No, the decaf was for his girlfriend,
Oh
and
shit.
the
That's why I read that.
cream and
wrong.
sugar was for him.
Fuck.
It's okay.
Yeah. You think he forgives
She didn't
me?
come down anyway.
You think he forgives me?
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
What do you think, Flat Marianne?
She'll never forgive
She's
me.
been quiet today.
She'll never forgive me. She's always mad at me.
Well, at least she's reliable.
Yeah.
We know.
That was cool what he was saying about the Bills game, the Orchard Park, that they're shutting down the roads and stuff so people can't get to the stadium.
They're keeping people away from the game.
That's crazy. I guess
You
they
think-
just don't want people to freaking
Because so here's my question, right? So are people allowed inside the stadium?
maybe not. I guess not.
So I wonder if they're just preventing them from tailgating.
they're going to do it somewhere else. I guess they just don't want it on their property, which
I mean-
makes sense.
Think about the size of those tailgates, though.
Yeah, you ever been to one?
No.
You're gonna have to try it,
Do you want this?
dude. Oh man, I'm hurting.
You got
I'm
a
hurting.
little hair of the dog.
from yesterday.
Ooh.
Ooh, wrong way. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, I'm still hurting here. I got lit up on something called Uncle Homer's wine.
You drank something called Uncle Homer's wine?
Yeah, it came. It was a
Was there anything good about
jug
it?
of wine.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, it was not good. It was not good.
Sounds like a weird Saturday.
It was Mary's dad's birthday.
Oh, happy
So-
birthday, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so we overdid it.
Mm.
Mary overdid it. She's still sleeping, I'm sure. So it was a good night.
All right.
Had a lot of fun. Hey, we went to Pleasant Valley for dinner last night. You ever been to Pleasant Valley Inn?
The Pleasant Valley Inn?
Yeah.
I've been to the Pleasant Valley Winery.
Yeah, so there's a Pleasant Valley Inn. If you're going just south of Hammondsport to the right, it's a
Is it that big pink place?
pink building, and it's very like upscale,
Hmm.
nice restaurant. I had beef Wellington. I mean,
Oh,
where are you going to get beef Wellington around here? It's kind of
I don't know.
they beef
Never
Wellington,
been in
a
there.
full rack of lamb.
Oh.
I mean, all kinds.
I had
of some
lamb
good stuff.
yesterday too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ooh, I haven't had a rack of lamb. I was kind of sad. I love beef Wellington. It's hard to get a hold of, so I got it. But I haven't had a rack of lamb in forever.
They've got I've been eating a lot of rack of lamb, but they've got butterflied leg of lamb on sale right now for like $5 or $6 a pound
At Morgan's?
at the other grocery store in town. So
Oh.
at the cheaper grocery store.
Okay.
So
Nice.
anyway, so I got 3 of those, and I just finished the first one. I get about three meals out of one of those.
Oh, that hurts.
So they're like 4 pounders.
Oh, that hurts.
You get a little indigestion or
No,
what?
my head still hurts.
Really?
Yeah.
It sucks.
You know when you wake up and you think for a second, you're like, should I just pray for death or should I wake up? Because I was literally looking up like, have mercy on me and just put me out of my misery right now. I do not want to do today. Yeah.
Dude, so many times when I was on the road with Pete, I'd wake up because sometimes, so one of the things that I really liked about that was kind of a fun thing that you don't really get otherwise, and I think you've probably had some experience doing this kind of thing, but we would trade a lot. We did a lot of trades. And I think when you own businesses that produce products that people like, you do a lot of trades.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we would always do is second person. The first person we'd find is the event organizer, so we could figure out where to set up. The second person was the beer vendor. We could find the beer vendor. When our first time we went to East Durham Irish Festival, we went down and we gave the beer vendor a dozen cookies. We gave him one of each flavor.
A dozen cookies.
Yeah.
Wow.
And every hour he handed each of us a 32-ounce Smittix.
Whoa.
For the whole weekend.
You guys won.
Yes.
Because like in currency, what's one cookie worth? What's a dozen cookies worth in currency?
I mean, it's what it's worth to you. And so, I mean, they usually sell retail for about $6 a dozen, or, you know, if you get a quantity, usually goes down to around $5 a dozen. Back then we were selling them for $5 a dozen all the time.
Really? Yeah.
But the price really hasn't gone up that much considering what you're getting.
Yeah.
And
they're really good. They really are. And I'm not just bullshitting.
It's the perfect cookie to go. The reason I brought them to the Laurentide to let them try it was because I think it's the perfect cookie for them. It's the perfect cookie to go with beer.
I didn't try it with beer yet.
Try it with the beer, dude.
Try it with the beer.
Yeah.
I hate, dude.
Those ones are really nice.
I hate cherry.
Those ones are really light. They came out really good.
And that's good. Yeah.
There's definitely somebody here.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. All right. Back up I go.
He'll be right back.
I guess I should have left my feet.
Who's here?
All right, Mom. Do your segment.
Dawn.
Real quick. Do your segment real quick.
We got to hear what pisses you off.
Real quick. Real quick.
Please don't make me do this.
Sit down.
God, your dad's gonna be mad.
Everybody, special guest, surprise guest,
All right,
Dawn
Mom.
Jane.
This is my mother. Mom, will you let everyone know what pisses you off?
There's lots of things that piss me off.
What pisses you off today? Besides filling high.
Nothing right now pisses me off. But you know, people that want to come in and sit down and then they're mad that there's no table for them and then act like assholes when they get in here.
Yeah, so that's what pisses you off.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, you're ready to lay smackdown on some woman last night, weren't you?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you held it together for all of us. All right, thanks for the segment of
Thanks,
what
Tom.
pisses you off.
Stop being assholes, people.
You're very welcome, boys. Everybody have a good day.
You too.
And that's what pisses Mom off, and it's not me today, so we're doing good.
Anytime it's not us, it's a good thing.
All right. Okay. So is my mother. Make sure, lock the door, please. Thank you.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. It was a good conversation. Oh, it was the currency of cookies.
The currency of
but
cookies.
Then I was
So
talking
what
about
they
how good the cookies were. We're
Yeah.
trying it with the beer, and then I think we were just kind of at a
Yeah.
midpoint. Yeah. He's cool, man. He's like, I like his energy. He's fun. I imagine that he's got to be a blast.
We
to
had
hang
such
with
a
for
good
full
time.
day. Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. That's part of why Iowa always comes up. Is hey newbie. That part of why Iowa always comes up is because that place specifically, we go halfway across the country and we love it. It's not even the biggest festival, but it's the furthest we travel, I think. And we've got a group of people there. It's like $15 or $25 or something to get through the gate. I think 25 gets you the whole weekend, 15 a day or something. I'm not sure.
Inexpensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's enough to keep out the riffraff,
Right.
you know.
But you got in there.
Yeah, except for us.
Yeah.
And we're infamous. And anyway, we've got these people, this whole community of people that have joined around the infamous Welsh Cookie Company over the years. And we have such a good time that they pay that money and then they just come hang out with us the whole weekend.
Really? They just hang out?
They just come
your
like
tent?
stand around the tent.
Wow.
And
That's cool,
talk
man.
to us, and
That's
maybe
funny.
they'll go grab beers or whatever. Or they'll jump in and help sell cookies.
Really?
Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
cool.
They love it.
That's awesome. That's fun to make
and we
friends.
get that kind of thing at most festivals, but just not to that level.
Yeah.
Everywhere, pretty much everywhere, there's at least one or two or three people that are like that. But it's like We have like 20 people that like they come every year to see us.
The Iowa people are going to be mad. I'm telling you, it's the best kept secret. Iowa is got to be. I'm telling you, if I was ever going to move, I would go there. Like some of the best hunting.
I would definitely.
Some of the best
I'd like to go
land.
hunting there. Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
And you're in the middle of nowhere. You're away from everything. Yeah, how nice would it be? How nice would it be to not have to worry about like what's going on up north of us here in Rochester and what's going?
They've got it there.
Yeah. Oh, do they? You
Yeah.
think the same stuff?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I guess you just don't hear about it then.
You don't hear about it.
Yeah.
You didn't hear about that storm that ripped through there and killed half their corn crop for 4 days after it happened.
Right.
They just get glazed over.
Interesting.
Sucks.
Yeah, I was on my way in today. I read a thing about protesters blocking off a hospital in LA with the 2 cops that were shot.
Yeah, I saw
scary,
that.
Man.
It's scary. I mean, to me, if they do that and those guys die, they're accessories to murder.
Yeah, but they
I don't know what
they,
the law
they
is.
won't be held accountable.
They should be.
No, of course they should.
I know. I was talking to one of my friends who's in law enforcement, and he said, I asked him, I said, isn't that like they could be charged for that, right? And he said, yeah, but mass arrests are pretty hard to pull off.
I'm sure.
And with it being nonviolent, which I'm not entirely sure that I believe that it's nonviolent if it causes somebody injury.
Yeah.
But that some of them would be back out on the street before the last ones were even in.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of these, the problem with that type of protesting group is it makes the good protesters look bad. I mean, it's just like anything else. So you got these people doing this, and then it makes the whole organization. I don't know if it was a Black Lives Matter protesters. I don't know who it was, but
who knows?
Whoever it was, I mean, you're ruining it for everyone else. That's all. It's like you take 2 steps forward and then you take a step back every time you do something like that.
If you protest a hospital, you're a piece of shit.
Seriously, because you're not only. It wasn't only those police lives; it's other people. You're in Los Angeles here.
Yep.
That's a big hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, it's scary. Scary. I'm so glad we don't have that where we live. We're so lucky to live where we do.
We have so what we don't. I mean, we have some of the pieces in place for that to happen, but the thing that prevents it from happening is our size.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the only thing.
I think our community would. I don't think you could pull it off because you're not going to get away with it like you do in the cities. The thing with the smaller communities is everyone feels like they're a part of their community and they're going to stick up for it.
Yeah.
So they're not going to let you do these kind of things. Where in a city,
how are they going to stop you though?
What could happen? Things happen. I mean, look at Kenosha. You go to something like that where it gets out of control. So
yeah. I mean, I don't think that you wouldn't have in a community this size. You'd never have the destruction, but you'd certainly have the protests, and nobody would stop that.
Right,
and they shouldn't.
And that's fine. Protests are. Sorry, these cookies.
My thing with the protests that I would like to see happen, and I'm not one of them, so I can't speak for them and why this is how it is, but I wish that I could see them come out with goals each time. Here's what we're protesting for.
Yeah, it feels like I was reading a thing, and it really does. It feels like Marxist. It really does. It feels interesting because they want to revamp the system and turn it into like a socialist system, and that seems. It doesn't seem like the right type of movement. That's not, I don't know. That's
I don't think that's it. So the thing is that's not what they all want.
That's the main
That's what some of the vocal ones want
from the main.
Yeah, that's the problem is, a lot of people have been separating the leadership of the Black Lives Matter organization from the movement Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of why is because I don't think that the movement is Marxist. I think the organization is.
Right. That's what I'm saying because
it makes it hard because they associate each other with each other.
That's the problem with one that these people are ruining for the movement. They're starting to take away from it when you do this. Because I'll tell you what, all it does is you turn on your TV and you see this stuff and how can you get behind some of this shit?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy out there. It's really crazy. Actually, I seen some. You're gonna You're not going to be happy with me. So I need you to elaborate on this. All right. So I seen Jo Jorgensen. She was for it, for the movement, right? For the organization as well.
No.
And then I seen that. Then she backstepped away from it once a lot of the.
No, yeah, I think that you. So I never saw her endorse the organization. I did see her walk with them.
Mm-hmm.
I did see her endorse the idea that Black Lives Matter too.
Which they do.
And a lot of libertarians I see out there with her saying the things that we all know, that all, like everybody says, oh, all lives matter. And well, you know what? All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. I wish that when they founded that movement, that they would have called it All Lives Matter, or that they would have called it Black Lives Matter too, so that they could. I think it would have changed their messaging.
Yeah,
and I think it would have resonated with a wider group of people.
So for me, I actually seen where she stepped back away from it once people weren't happy that she was involved.
This was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I saw that.
I just want
I think that I don't think she really stepped back from it. I know what you're talking about. I know, but I don't think she stepped back from it. I think that she elaborated on it. I think that she clarified what she was talking about. I don't think she changed what she was saying. She didn't change what she meant.
I don't know. I seen it as just, and again, I mean, I like her and everything, but if you want to bring up a negative that I seen, and because I thought you could elaborate to me a little better looking at it, because it really did look like she was moving, she was with the movement, but she was with the organization at that. And that's where everyone was having a problem. And then she stepped back from it, which I appreciated. But then people are saying,
I guess I didn't see that.
Yeah. It's a big thing. Now that you got me all into the libertarian stuff, I like follow everything and I'm a part of everything. And I seen like a lot of people were upset that she was doing that.
Yeah.
And I seen, so it was interesting.
One thing that I see with the libertarian movement that's a little bit tricky is that there are people who go in there to be a troll. There are people that are not libertarians who go in there and kind of try to play devil's advocate or worse. They try to stir stuff up and twist things.
I don't know how much it's that or how much when we've talked off air, where I feel like out of any party, there's too much of swaying there. There's not like a set of beliefs really. It's like, like one side's this way, one side's that way. So it almost feels like a party that's separated.
It is. Yeah, no, that's
like a single party.
That's a great way to. So you see that as a negative. I see it as a really big positive, because it's a party that has a set of principles that they follow.
Yeah.
And besides that, you can believe whatever you want to believe. And that's the major principle of it, is that you can believe whatever you want to believe as long as you're not hurting anybody. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you don't force anybody else to do it. We don't believe in legislating morality.
Do you think of it as a team though? Because I always think of everything being an avid athlete. It's all I cared about my whole life. And being on a team, if you don't set the same goals and have the same beliefs, you're not going to win.
Okay, let me ask you this then. I love that analogy. All right.
Wait, do you love it, or do you think it was dumb what I said?
No, I love it. No, it's perfect. Okay. So you played football.
Yeah.
What was your goal? You had two major goals in football, right?
Yeah.
What were the two goals?
Well, the end goal is to win it all, of course. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So end goal, win the game.
Yeah.
But during a game, you got two things that you're trying to do. You're trying to get into the end zone with the ball.
Keep the other person away.
Keep the other team out of their end zone.
Right.
Right.
But there's more.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, you've got an offensive line, a defensive line, a quarterback. You've got running backs, defensive back. You've got all these people whose job it is to play defense, and you've got people whose job it is to play offense. They all have different roles.
Right.
And they all come from different angles to achieve the same thing. And that's a great way to look at for the Libertarian Party, we all want you to be able to have more freedom. We all want to prevent the government from interfering with you unless you're hurting somebody.
Yeah, but they have a different set of beliefs. That's
The
the problem.
So the beliefs don't match up. The beliefs don't match up with the principles, in a way.
That's what I see as the
so
issue.
their way. So we've got some libertarians that are that love guns.
Right.
We'll go Second Amendment with this.
Yeah.
We got some that love guns, and we've got some that don't want to look at them, don't want to touch them, don't want to be near them. Libertarians respect the Second Amendment.
Do they?
Yes.
I see a lot where they don't. Some don't. But it might be
If they don't, they're not
trolls you're
libertarians.
talking-
Yeah,
Right,
they're trolls. The people who, so the point is, my point that I'm getting at with that specific example is that while they might hate guns, they would try to convince you that you shouldn't use guns, you shouldn't have guns, rather than making laws against it.
Right.
If they hate gay marriage, I know this is all in the Supreme Court's already settled,
Right.
but if they hated gay marriage, they would just try to convince gay people not to get married instead of banning it. They're not into banning shit.
Right.
They're into other than hurting people.
Right.
So you can't have corporations or individuals that hurt other people. But other than that, do what you want, man.
Yeah. I mean, and I see some people that on these forums now that I read because I want to be able to hang here with you and chat it because I don't know it very well. And I see a lot of people that I'm like are almost spot on. Believe the way I'm talking, like I can see myself writing the things they're writing. Like I see.
Yeah.
Then there's times where I'm reading, I'm like, dude, that's all. Like that.
Like,
You're
do you have
out of
any,
here.
do you have
I'm
any
just
examples?
like, I don't off the top of my head. The main thing that I notice is there's a lot of like arguing between the party of what does this mean? It's like there's a lot of like oh well this means this, but this person's like no, that doesn't mean that.
Right.
I see a lot of that because it seems like it's when you say no, like all we want is freedom. Well,
Right.
freedom to someone else and to freedom to you and to me could be completely different. Like
Yeah.
what we think is freedom and what you're not restricting my rights, but you're safe. That can be. When I line that
when I pay my dues for the Libertarian Party,
Yeah.
I have to sign off on a thing that says that I won't use the government to force other people to do things that I think are moral, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm wording that wrong, but essentially I have to sign off that I don't condone using force and using laws and using the government to force other people to do things just because I think they're moral. It's whether or not it's causing harm. So if you're not causing harm, there's a thing called the non-aggression principle. That's kind of like the overarching principle. And it's basically that you can't do anything that forces other people to do things.
Right.
Unless they're causing harm.
Yeah. There's some things on the Libertarian Party that I could just jump behind. Like there's other parts where they miss me a lot, but
yeah. So the other thing,
but I think you can say that about anything. So I, as a Republican, I don't think you should have the right to tell a woman that she can't have an abortion. I'm against that. So that's not a very Republican thing. There's
Right.
lots of things that Republicans think that, like, I don't care about gay marriage. Sure, go get married. I don't care. Like, what the hell? It doesn't affect anybody else. Like,
I mean, abortion is one of the trickiest issues of libertarianism, but one of the founding principles is that we don't think that the government should get involved with it.
Right.
We have a lot of people who are pro-life and a lot of people that are pro-choice, but we don't think the government should get involved with it.
Right.
And we think it should be between a woman and her doctor.
Yeah.
And most of us don't think that. I don't know what most of us think. I hope that a lot of people can avoid that option.
Yeah. There's a majority of my friends, being from Yates County, of course, we're very red, that believe exactly the way I do. It's so funny, like things that I guess you have to think to be a Republican. We're not there. Like the marijuana, like who cares? Like legalize it. Abortion, let it. It's their choice, not ours. I mean, there's so many things that. So it's tough. I think there's a new movement even in the Republican Party. I think, and I think you're starting to see those people become libertarian.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I mean, that's how the Republican Party came to existence.
Right.
Was they saw what was happening in the 1800s, mid 1800s, and Abraham Lincoln sprung up and was the first Republican president, and in a lot of ways was doing things that are a lot closer to what the Libertarian Party wants than what the current Republican Party wants. And you're starting to see that attitudes are shifting toward more libertarian ideas from both sides. I mean, for Republicans,
the left's pretty radical in my opinion.
Some of them are. Yeah. Some of them are.
I mean, there's right.
So here's the thing,
the
right?
Left radical.
Here's where libertarians mesh up with a lot of Democrats is on social issues.
Okay.
So, and you're starting. I mean, those are things where you're starting to shift toward the social issues being on the side of the libertarians, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of where the Democrats have shifted over toward. I mean, the libertarians have been like that since the 70s when they were founded.
Yeah.
Is they always, since 1971, were for gay marriage, were for choice, were for, all those things. And, but I think you're going to start to see people come over that way. The thing that really bothers me, and I watched what the Commission on Presidential Debates is doing, and they streamed their meeting on Zoom, and they had lots of questions from libertarians about why are you blocking Joe Jorgensen?
Right.
They said, oh, well, if we had everybody who filed to be president, we can't have 4,000 people on the stage. Like, that's how many people filed to be president.
4,000 people really did?
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? There's only 3 people who are on the ballot in every single state and Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
There are only 4 people who could reach 270 electoral votes based on the ballots that they're on.
Yeah.
We can't have 3 to 4 people on the stage.
Yeah, I would say I don't think 4. I think it is nice to keep it tight because at least you can. The problem is, and maybe you could do more, but you'd have to change the way the debates are, because why the hell in the United States of America is there commercials during our presidential debates?
Right.
What the hell? We can't afford to straight stream an hour complete of debates. Like, so that's the things, like, oh, there's commercials and they're not getting much time to answer. I don't like it in general. So I don't know why the hell people aren't saying, hey, these people are going to lead our country. Can we watch them for an hour or 2 straight?
Yeah.
Without a goddamn commercial.
It's a sham. It's a sham so crazy, anyway.
You know? And I don't know. When is it? When's it going to be streamed?
So we're going to do it on the 29th, September 29th.
Okay.
Will be the first one.
Nice. That's going to be good. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
It's going to suck.
Dude, it's going to be good.
It's just going to be, it's going to be 2 parties that I consider pretty much the same.
It's going to be fun.
It's a 2-headed beast.
It's going to be a lot of good quotes coming from that debate and lots of I'm ready for it. I'm excited.
Should we bring a chalkboard for that? I feel like we should have the pros and the just hash marks out. Trump said something dumb. Joe Biden almost fell asleep. Joe Biden forgot where he was. Trump said bigly.
Joe Biden won't keep his hands off the speaker.
Biden tried to sniff somebody.
Oh God!
All I'm saying is
Trump's talking about how good looking his daughter is. Yeah, there's gonna be lots of weird stuff going on.
You don't think that Trump's gonna talk about how good looking his daughter is again?
Dude, I hope not. That was weird, dude.
Donald,
that was weird.
Listen, Donald Trump, over here. Hey, Please come on with this stuff about your daughter. Just come on.
Calling your daughter an absolute smoke on live TV. It's like, okay, all right.
I mean, it's honesty, but it's not. You shouldn't say that. She is, but you shouldn't say it.
Yeah, but you can't say it.
It's a lot of stuff that's true that you shouldn't say.
Yes, and that's one. And
Let's talk about that.
the best one. I seen this video of Joe Biden the other day, and he was talking about the coronavirus deaths. Did you see that mistake he made? It was so I don't know. It's like 150,000.
He said like
150
400 million
or 15 million people die, and then he tried to like step it back, but then dude, this guy, I'm telling you, and this pisses off.
No, but okay, look, here's the thing. I get where you're coming from, and I agree that it's kind of embarrassing, but
it's not that
he's never been known for being eloquent.
It's not that
he's
it's
always said he's known for having gaffes. Like,
I think
widely,
and people get upset with me, especially my Democrat friends get upset with me. I think he has Alzheimer's. I think medically he's got something going on. He loses his train of thought too much. I seriously, I feel bad for the guy because
certainly some senility setting in.
I don't think he's as bad as we all try to joke. I mean, it's fun to pick on him. I mean, I'm sure he's harmless, but socially, he doesn't got it socially. He doesn't understand how to act around women. He doesn't know how to understand how to act in public. He can't speak well in public, and I mean, it's just scary that you're going to let him deal with foreign leaders. And I mean, I'm sure people say the same thing about Trump. That's scary as well, with the way he talks. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for Joe Biden because I feel like right now they're like doing all they can to get. They're like doing everything they can to get him to do. Why do you
think he didn't run last time?
He's not fit to run, and he's the best shot they had.
Why do you think that he didn't run last time?
Why do you think?
I don't know. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like,
because Hillary's his buddy. They're buddies.
Are they?
Yeah.
You think that Hillary has friends?
I
don't think Hillary has.
Barack and Joe Biden are all like.
I don't know. I don't think any of them like each other.
I'm telling you.
I think it's a show. I don't think any of them actually like each other.
What the Democrats are trying to do is they're trying to get Biden in there, and he's not going to make it full the whole way. I guarantee it. Kamala Harris will be your president.
You don't think he's going to live 4 years?
No,
5 years?
Not live. I just think he'll have medical issues that won't allow him to be the acting president. I see it coming. I do. And again, everyone knows how I feel about Kamala Harris. So I don't have to say it again for the 10,000th time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I'd love to vote Mickey Mouse in this year. So he almost won last year. He got a lot.
Look at
the last four.
So my cousin reached out to me yesterday, 2 days ago, and asked me, I see you post a lot of stuff about Jo Jorgensen. What's the deal? Like, why do you like her? And I told her, first off, because she actually wanted to know the answer. So I said, thanks for asking. I'm happy if anybody wants to talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it.
He's happy to talk about it.
Thanks for asking and actually caring what the answer was, instead of like some people just ask so that they can find a way to like disagree.
Yeah.
But
which is okay too. It's always good for a debate. I don't mind saying
there's a time for that.
Yeah.
I do like that, but she was actually just legitimately curious. And I said, a few things, she actually wants to bring the troops home. She actually wants to end the war on drugs, which I think is the biggest law enforcement reform that we could ever have. She wants to end qualified immunity. She wants to give people more rights and autonomy over themselves. And I don't see that in the other candidates.
No.
They've all had the opportunities. Somebody the other day thought that Biden, I don't know, they were blaming Trump for the children being kept in cages at the border, which he still, I don't think he's ended that yet.
Yeah, but that started during another president.
Right. So I brought up the fact, what? Actually, that was happening when Biden was in the White House.
Yeah.
So he's not better.
No.
And
But everyone doesn't. No, and when you bring that up, I'm telling you, no one has any.
Oh, they lit me
anything to
up.
Say.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah, they lit me up for that.
Why?
Because, well, so the comment was, you know, Trump's a real piece of shit, and he does these horrible things, and like just listed off a bunch of bad qualities that were just kind of a personal attack, and then said, you know, that he keeps kids in cages and something else. And I said, well, hold on. Oh, and has not addressed the fact that Putin has had bounties on our soldiers' heads. And I said, well, the thing about the bounties is really bad.
That's bad.
Really bad.
Yeah, that's a bad. Look.
The
really bad.
And he's rolled over for the Russians as much as everybody has their opinions on whatever side.
I mean, he has done some things that, like when he gave the okay to shoot that freaking plane with that guy in it, that was going to piss the Russians. So he did. I mean, he's done some things, but you're right on that whole bounty thing.
Bad.
But I mean, what are you going to do?
Right.
But I mean, are we going to go to war with Russia? Like that's
well, we could at least, you know,
denounce them publicly.
Yeah, we could denounce them publicly. We could put sanctions on them.
Don't we already sanction
we
them?
Could expel their, you know, their diplomats.
Okay.
There are a lot of things we could do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so anyway, I said, you know, about the first off, it's just a personal attack against Trump, which has nothing to do with a logical argument. So it was the first part of it. The third part was really bad about the bounties. And the second part was something that was happening when Biden was in the White House.
Right.
So like, how is that part of your argument when you're trying to get the guy back in the White House? Not only that,
Not very good one.
but 30 years ago, he was the guy who got the crime bill passed that has blown up our prison system. It's filled it with young black men.
And Kamala Harris.
And Kamala Harris
has the highest
is a fucking horrible human being.
Conviction rate of young African American males, like ever.
Will put young black men and other people in jail, even if she knows that they're not guilty, just so that she can win.
So scary. That's so scary. Can you imagine? Can you imagine just being in the wrong place at the wrong time and not getting your chance to put in DNA to save your life? I mean, sometimes you shouldn't be in that place, but I hope if I'm ever in the wrong place at the wrong time that I get a chance to defend myself, at least with my DNA. Yeah. That would be nice. So
I don't know how we fix that. I mean, I know how we fix it is you need to get different people in office instead of, you know, electing the same people and expecting things to change.
Yeah.
But I mean, how the hell do we have, like, what percentage of our senators have been in office for the past 20 years or more?
A lot.
High percentage.
A lot. Yeah, I don't know.
That needs to change.
Yeah. I wonder what the percentage is. It's got to be over 70%.
I don't know.
You think it's that high?
It might be. I mean, think of. I mean, it's basically how many of them want to stay there that long.
Yeah.
And how many are old enough to have been there that long, and like whether or not they're in a solid district. Which I mean, what percentage of the country is just solid? Like, what percentage of the country actually flips in any given time? And the Congress is even, you know, in a lot of ways worse because some districts never change.
Yeah. Well, there was a senator in here last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or somebody running for senator. My parents said, yeah, she was in here. So
running for senator,
or is a senator or Congress or something. I don't know, something.
Oh, it was Tracy.
Who was it?
Was it Tracy Matrano?
Yes, that's who it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody texted me from her campaign.
Did they?
They said, "Oh, was wondering if you're going to vote for Tracy Matrano." And I said, "Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm not. And here's why." And they were like, "Oh, well, we got to get Tom Reed out of there." And I said, "Well, you know, I don't love everything that Tom Reed's done, but I know." They said, "Oh, look up where Tracy stands on the issues." I said, "No, I know where she stands on the issues. I've looked her up. I know what her platform is, and I don't like it."
Pretty plain, huh?
Yeah. So I
funny.
said, "No, I'm not going to vote for Tom, and I'm not going to vote for Tracy." So if there's a third option, I might consider them.
Yeah, well, it's cool that she was in here. I thought that was pretty interesting. She came to 18th Amendment.
She's right from this area.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funniest part is my dad, of course, loves Tom Reed. So she's in here, and my dad knows her from Scopes.
Is she part of that?
Yeah.
Is she involved with that?
Yeah, and so isn't Tom Reed.
Okay.
Because all Scopes is pretty much, all the hunting guys get together, and then you come and you do your each person gets to do a little speech or whatever, and that's how you kind of end up meeting people and getting a chance to meet
Have
those
they
type of
actually accomplished anything?
people. What do you mean?
Scopes? Do you know much about, like, have they actually gotten anything done?
I think really all they are is I think they're a political kind of. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know much. I just know my dad goes every year, and they have like a pig roast, and a bunch of people come and speak that are running for office, and you get to meet them and pick their brain. I think it's more or less that it gives like those type of people in the area a chance with one-on-ones with candidates to chat with them. So my dad made a lot of good connections that way. He really did. Met a lot of high up people that have helped us in our businesses and done a lot for us. So it's
good to know.
Pretty impressive stuff,
Yeah, I don't know. I like those types of organizations as long as they do what their mission is, as long as they carry out their
I don't know
mission.
what their mission is. What's our mission?
What's our mission?
Yeah, do we have a mission? Should we do it should we make up a mission live?
Do we have like an actual like mission statement?
Do we have a mission?
Our mission is to expand people's minds and help them try new things and give exposure to awesome things that are happening in the Finger Lakes.
Okay.
In the world.
We'll cut that up and we'll get the sound a little better.
And bullshit about politics.
We'll get that thing rolling, our mission statement a little better.
Our mission is to give newbies something to do every Sunday afternoon.
I wonder if newbie's even there. He did say something. Yeah. No, that was awesome. This is good. I really did like your friend.
I know. I hope he can come back sometime and he can spend a little bit more time. We've got millions of stories. I mean, he's been on the road for 20 years, I think. And
what do you think?
Well, not 20, 13
Flat
years.
Marianne, do you have anything you'd like to say in the mic? Is there anything you'd like to say? Oh, sorry. Are you going to talk in this mic, Marianne? You want to? No. All right. She's going to be quiet. So, as you can see, real Marianne ditched us. She's a ditcher.
It's okay.
I love her.
It's okay, Marianne.
She's so cool.
We're just glad the Flat Marianne's here.
See, that's the thing. That's why people always ask me, and I don't want to sound bad for people that have children, but why don't you want to have children? Or, what do you think about children? I'm like, it's a lot. You dedicate a lot of time. I mean, you lose a lot of time to do things that you like to do, and some people love being a parent, but I love being able to say, I'm going to do this today and not have any restrictions. So
it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why, because once you're a parent, you if you're going to bring a child in this world, you instantly say, no, I'll let you break your cookie. Yeah. You instantly lose free time because you gotta spend a lot of time with them, and they cost a lot of money. Children do.
Kids are expensive, dude.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids.
I don't know how if I had a kid, like I don't know how Marianne runs a wine bar, has a child, works a job.
She's a busy lady.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's really amazing that we can get her for a couple hours on most Sundays.
Yeah. I do miss. When she's here, she adds an element that we just can't bring.
We can't do it.
No. Flat Marianne tries
I think
hard.
we can. We have a good show, but she really does add a lot.
You want some cookie? There. No. Not gonna. No.
Flat Marianne loves Welsh cakes.
Does she?
Oh yeah.
She won't eat it. Eat it. Yeah. Oh God.
I've eaten more of these. I don't have any idea how many of these I've eaten. You know what he's done in their family, and then they'll freeze these, and like all of his kids teethed on these.
Really?
Because the bits are so small, like the currants are so small that there's nothing they can choke on.
Yeah.
So they'll freeze them and then just gum on these things. And so all of his kids, he teethed on them. All of his kids teethed on them. He gives it like people that have babies that come up at festivals. He'll give them to the babies.
I'm telling you, these aren't cookies. They're biscuits, right? I mean, they have to be, and they're phenomenal.
I consider it a cake because it's fried.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, because you don't fry biscuits.
Yeah, I think they're baked.
I've never really made biscuits.
Just
Seriously.
just Pillsbury.
Yeah, I don't think I've made them either. But
You know the thing with like I always burn the shit out of the bottom of them.
yeah.
It's like, okay. I'm over it.
The only thing I've ever had out of the Pillsbury can are those cinnamon rolls. Man, I fucking love cinnamon rolls. So good.
Cinnamon rolls are the
There's
shit.
something about cinnamon
I don't
rolls.
like the frosting though. I like to just have them without the frosting.
Yeah, I'll take them however I can get them. But a cinnamon roll and a nice cup of like good dark coffee. There's like phenomenal. It'll rock your socks. Yeah.
Turkish coffee.
Yeah, you were supposed to make it on air.
Not this time.
No, some point.
But at some point I'll make some on air.
Yeah.
I've actually got I've ordered something to go with the with my cell phone so that I can mount that over top so you can watch the coffee.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah, that'll be fun.
just for visual effect. What am I looking up? What was I looking up?
I don't know. How's everything at the college? Everything been going good? I know you probably can't elaborate too much.
Yeah, I
but-
can't talk too much about it. We did have our first confirmed case of COVID, but I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say about that.
Okay. No, we'll just leave it alone.
I'm not sure what's public information.
Yeah. It's probably for best.
But
I was meaning
but
more.
I'm pretty confident about it.
How are the students? Like, how are they adjusting and all that fun
You
stuff?
know, I think pretty good. It's tough for some of them because they really want that face-to-face experience.
Mhm.
And my class is entirely face-to-face, but some of the classes are not. Some of the classes are either entirely virtual and remote. Some of them are hybrid. So maybe like one day a week they're in person, and then or 2 days a week they're in person, and then once or twice a week they're virtual. So I think that's tough for them. Typically they do a pretty good job about keeping masks on and sanitizing their areas and things like that.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a really good job overall. And we have, a few, there's always a few that don't really get with the program, but I think overall we're doing pretty good.
What'd she say?
Mary said she heard about it.
Oh, I thought I was in trouble.
No,
If she sees me take a sip of beer, she's gonna lose her damn mind.
there's no beer in that mug. It's all coffee. But
So hammered.
I
Last
think-
night.
I think overall it's pretty good. It's a weird experience. We're actually looking at how we can open the gyms back up now.
Nice.
So that's going to be a phased reopening as far as I know. Unless, the plan always can change. So, but we're trying some things. We've got some training sessions for our student athletes, all spaced out.
Huh.
Just kind of doing what we can do.
Yeah, that's all everyone's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it's so busy around lately? Why do you think there's so many people here?
In Penn.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. Every night, this place is slammed. It's slammed. Like,
That's not locals either, is it?
no, I mean half and half.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many people out of state are here. Like,
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is everyone doing here? I guess
I
I
don't
shouldn't
know.
complain. I mean, we're making, it's business. You're making money, but where the hell is it? What's everyone doing?
I don't know.
Did you want some more of this?
You can have as much as you want.
I'm just gonna have a little more. Want to finish that? Don't want Marla to think we're wasting her good old beer.
You're gonna have to do something with that
What is that?
Vienna lager.
Holy shit!
I thought she was just gonna bring one. I said one.
Thank you,
I appreciate
thank you, Marla.
I appreciate the two,
We
but
love you. Oh, I love you. I don't know about Phil. I don't want to speak for Phil.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a nice long talk yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you come up with a slogan?
Should we talk about that on air or not?
Yeah, it's time for the people so they can know. We should have done it earlier because I wonder how many people make it all the way through. We'll have to do earlier next time. When is the vote?
Tuesday.
Oh, shit.
Hey, newbie, how many people do you know that live inside the village of Penyan? This is the question.
Yeah, noob. What did he say? I'm so blind. I can't read
He said
shit.
Penyan is making waves. Keep it busy.
Nice. I wonder. I think there's like 6,800 people or some shit like that in the village of Penyan.
It's less.
Yeah? Are you sure?
I'm not sure, but I think it's closer to like low fives.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's closer to like 52, 53.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
The question is, how many people are going to turn out?
300-400 maybe.
I don't think so.
No? What are you thinking?
I think less than 200.
Can I vote?
Do you live inside the village?
I own a business inside the village.
I don't know. Are you a village voter? Where are you registered?
Dundee.
Yeah, so no.
That's bullshit. I own a business in the town.
Yeah, but it's based on where you're registered to vote.
That's dumb. That doesn't make sense. They should do something about that. If you own a business in a town, you should have a say in politics.
Well, then move inside the town and then you can.
Yeah, but I have a business in another town.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
We got to change the system.
I don't think so.
It's time to change.
You have enough. Oh, newbie says 5,100 as of the last census, so I was pretty close.
Yeah.
So you have plenty of ways to have an impact. You just can't vote.
I don't like it.
You can sway people's votes. You can go to meetings and speak.
Should I have people waiting outside polling booths?
I don't think
Strong
you can do
arming
that.
people.
Who are you going to vote for? No, go away.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't recognize you. You're not allowed to vote here today.
Strong arm.
Actually, your
everyone.
polling place is on the other side of town. Go to Todd's Car Wash.
Oh boy. That's not really happening, newbie. I'm not having people strong arm people at polls. I know you want to be the
Newbie,
person.
we need to. We need to talk off air soon. Today
at the Laurentide today.
At the Laurentide.
I won't be able to be there for long. I'll only be able to be there for like a half hour.
Yeah, me either.
I got to get home.
We got to go soon.
Yeah.
You want to wrap it up?
Sure.
Okay.
We've been doing just a lot of banter.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
The first 40 minutes was more interesting with Pete anyway. So
Yeah.
We'll get Pete back. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all those things. Check out the YouTube channel for It's Rare. Check out the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Give us some listens over there. Share that with your friends. Add it to your listening list, whatever. Anything new going on?
No, not really. No, just same old stuff. We got that 3-year-old bourbon that we.
Oh yeah, I got to try some 3-year-old bourbon
instead of the 2-year-old, so it's a little different. Yeah, it'll be fun.
I heard it was really. I heard Crystal told me that it changed a lot over the course of just the last few months.
Yeah,
that she could really tell the difference. So I'm really excited to give that a try. I heard it's fantastic.
Yeah, that was Crystal, Tracy, Marla, and I think Molly all tried it the other night.
So it's the same batch,
just a year
a year older.
Yeah.
Have you created another batch that's like ready to roll out after?
I might have one more small barrel. Yeah. So we're running low on bourbon. Then we got like some bourbon restarting. That's
you gotta
probably
start you gotta start
8 months
distilling
old.
more, dude.
Yeah, I wish I had more time.
Gotta get up. I don't know. What do you need me to do? Do you need me to mix?
Yeah, like a witch's brew there.
Yeah, whatever you need, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Wish gay. All right, people. Thanks for joining us. Newbie is down like a clown, so Newbie, we'll see you in like 10 to 12 minutes over there. And everybody have a great day.
See you later.